Welcome to a new video. Today I am just going carp fishing. No BS, no gimmicks. We are just going fishing. I've got to the lake then after walking across a couple of fields, and it looks absolutely lovely again today. Now the last couple of videos I've been doing a bit of stalking, sort of one rod tactics with the bread, just stalking them off the top, heron style, sort of heron stalking style, and it's been really good. You know, I've really enjoyed it. Been very sort of exciting, really sort of heart in your mouth kind of fishing. But I've had some really rubbish news this week. It's been a terrible week, and to be honest, I just need to chill. Now I wasn't going to make a video, but I actually like making the videos and I enjoy the editing process. So I can only edit if I have footage to edit. So I thought I'll come out, do a very chilled session, very relaxed, not take it too seriously, concentrate on just being outdoors and having some time to myself. And all I'm going to do is drop a couple of solid bags in because it's my favourite tactic. I'm not going to talk about tactics. I'm not going to talk about anything like that. I am just going to fish, and hopefully one of the rods will go off on the short sort of couple of hours I've got this evening. So I'm going to fish up till the light starts to go, then I'm going to obviously shoot back home. But yeah, the aim of today is literally just to get outdoors, enjoy being out here. You know, I love the excitement and the fun side of fishing, but I also absolutely love the relaxation side of it, where you can just sit and chill. You know, sometimes fishing, it just needs to be about what you want to do, you know, what you want to fish for, how you want to fish. And if you don't want to run around stalking fish, you just want to sit there behind some rods and wait for it to happen, that's absolutely fine. And sometimes I feel like that too, and it's one of those days where I just want to literally drop a couple of rigs in and hope the fish hangs itself on the end. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. So let's get the rod sorted, or obviously go through what I'm using, because I know you find it interesting and it obviously is relevant. So I'll talk through what I'm doing, but I'm not going to get too technical today. We're just going to put some rods out there and see if we can catch a carp. So let's do just that. Solid bag, little wafter in there. I've got my little 6-foot rod with my little DEM 5000 FD reel, 12-pound mainline. So nice and simple tactics. What I'm only going to do is just flick a solid bag down this margin along this tree line where the fish seem to like to patrol at this time of year, and hopefully we can have one. Sorted. That is rod 1 out there fishing. Let's get the other one done. Rod 2 then, it's exactly the same. Solid bag, little wafter, 6-foot rod, and this one's going down the left hand margin, maybe a little bit more into open water this time. Right, just going to flick this one out to the left a little bit more, just underarm flick it out. Lovely drop. Let's get that line sunk. A little bit windy today, but the weather actually seems pretty good for it, so hopefully the fish are going to play ball. Right, rod 2 is out. Sorted. Well, I've got some 8mm S7 in here. I'm going to just sprinkle that over a couple of rods, and I've got some dumbbells as well, so let's get a bit of that out there. Just going to sprinkle a bit down the margin around that rod. A bit around the other one as well. Here's the bigger ones then. Just got a mix of dumbbells in there. There's actually some S7, some Bug and some SLK. So I'm going to put a few of those out there, just sprinkle them around, a couple of handfuls spread about, hopefully get some fish rooting around and get us a bite. Well, the rods are out and I'm just sat in the grass on the unhooking mat, just chilling. And basically the main reason for this video is I just wanted to come out and have a session where I didn't have to worry, I didn't have to think much, and I could just relax and chill. And sometimes that is what fishing is about. You know, fishing is so intense nowadays. You know, people are constantly trying to catch big fish. Most content is focused on catching the big one, catching the monster. It's very intense and full on. And sometimes I think people need to just step back and just remember that fishing is about enjoying it. It's about being, having fun. It's about relaxing and chilling and, getting rid of all the stresses of everyday life. Now, I've had an absolute week, if I'm honest, and we don't tend to talk much about our personal lives because we try and keep it focused on the fishing. We want to try and inspire and motivate people to get out there and get their own freedom and their own enjoyment. But sometimes, things just happen, and unfortunately this week I actually lost a loved one. Unfortunately, my other half, Nan, passed away. Just had a liner. She was actually I was really close to her. She was a big part of my life. She was actually a reason that I'm with my other half now. We actually got introduced by her, and she's been a part of my life ever since, really. So I actually first met my other half when I was 17. I'm chasing 40 at the moment. Well, I'm actually chasing 39. So it's a long time ago. We've been together for, I think, 17 years now. And she's been in my life for that length of time. So to see her go is it's very hard. And I know a lot of people have to go through this. We all lose people in our lives, and it's hard to deal with. So sometimes you just need to get out and just clear your head, have some fresh air, and just enjoy being outdoors. And that is exactly what this session is about for me. So although I wouldn't normally film it, because I obviously could do with the time to myself, I actually enjoy the editing process, and I actually find editing quite relaxing. So I get to come out, have a bit of chill time, not sort of film too intense, and just sort of take it steady, get a bit of content for you guys, obviously, so I can make a video, but also I get to then go back and edit it, which I actually find quite a relaxing part of doing the content creating. So I actually enjoy that process. So, it's kind of a positive for me. But it is what it is. It's a rubbish thing to happen. Unfortunately, we lose people. We don't last forever. That's my opinion anyway. I'm sure other people have their own sort of way of thinking. But it is what it is. So I just wanted to do sort of a very simple video just to sort of say, don't take fishing too seriously. Everyone's trying to catch big fish. All videos are sort of so focused on the chase and the big one and all this sort of stuff, and sometimes it should just be about getting out there and just enjoying being outdoors and not taking life too seriously and not having to worry about anything and just having some time to yourself. So this video is quite literally about going out and just fishing for yourself. So, if you're having a rubbish time, maybe just take your foot off the gas and just go out somewhere nice and simple where it's quiet, there's no one around, and just have a go fishing and don't really worry about what happens and just enjoy it. And you never know, you might catch a good one, you might not. I'm currently getting loads of liners. There's clearly some fish out on the bait, but I'm not too worried. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it's nice to get out and not have to worry about stuff at the moment. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about really. And I'm sure this is a bit of a long talk and might be a bit boring, but that is kind of the point of the video, is just to try and get people to focus on getting out and enjoying being outdoors, focus on yourself, focus on your own sort of mental health. And it's definitely something we all need to do. So anyway, I think I might have a bite. Or was that a liner? Wow, I think I might be getting breamed. That'd be typical. Come out and get breamed. Sorted. I've been up and down off the unhooking mat like a yo-yo. I'm currently using it as a seat, just sat in the grass. And I've been getting so many liners to the point where they've been slamming against the rod butts, where they've been so powerful. But I think I've probably got a shoulder bream out there. I put a few 8mm out, and I'm thinking the bream have moved in on those smaller baits. But it's still fun to watch, so I'm not going to complain. But one thing I just wanted to talk about, and it's something that I've had a few comments, and I've actually had some direct messages on Instagram recently asking, have we left ProLogic? And the answer is no, we haven't. Now, I know there's been some different gear in videos, which might seem a bit odd, but it's all for good reason. And there are going to be some changes coming up on the channel. So I don't want to talk about it without Hugh. So what I'm going to do is at the bloggers match, YouTube bloggers match we run, Hugh actually organises it every year on our behalf. I leave that to him. But we're actually going to, I think, Merrington Fishery, I think it is, or somewhere like that. I can't actually remember. Hugh sorted it out. But yeah, there's about 15 or 16 of us going. So it's going to be a big social over a weekend. And I think it's the very last weekend in July. And we're going to basically sit down and have a talk when we're there and explain to camera what is going on with the channel. Because there are going to be some changes and things are going to get mixed up a little bit for the good. And I think it's going to be really exciting, and it's going to provide some absolute wicked content for the channel. So it is all for the better, so it's not for the worst, but it is just going to be a bit of a big mix up. So we'll go through it all then, and obviously sometime in August, I guess that video will go out and obviously give you an idea of what is going on moving forward. But anyway, I need to catch a carp. I was hoping to just chill on this session, but I've been up and down like a yo-yo. My fishing head has sort of just come in and pushed everything else out the way, and now I feel like I want to catch one. So I'm going to redo the rods, I'm going to put a little bit more food in, and hopefully in this last sort of half hour or so, when the rods will go rattling off and we'll actually catch one and round off a nice little chill session. Well, the light is starting to go. I've had quite a few pickups, but nothing sort of materialised into an actual take. Everything looks pretty good. All looks okay. A little bit of residue from the solid bag, but other than that, that is spot on. So I'm quite surprised. I haven't had a take, so I'm going to put a fresh bag on. See if that'll do the business. Right, fresh bag on then. I've just whipped this one up quick. I'm going to just flick this one out. That hit a fish on the way down. So there's clearly some fish out there. I'm assuming it's a shoulder bream because I've been getting so many liners, but I definitely hit a fish on the way down, which is positive. So we'll put it back on the rest. I'm sure that's really annoying, but that alarm. But I'm going to just tighten it up because I'm also wondering whether I'm getting a bit of wind indication. So I'm going to just tighten it all up a bit. I normally fish tighter lines, but I decided to fish them a little bit slacker. But if I'm quite honest, it's just ended up with me getting loads of random bite indication. So it might be that the wind's causing a bit of it as well. I know on these Nash Sirens, you can actually change the settings so that you don't get any wind interference, but I don't know them well enough yet. I've only had them a couple of sessions. So anyway, we'll just tighten it up a little bit and see if that does the business. But I'm going to put a little bit of bait out again. We've got about 15 or 20 minutes maybe of fishing, so let's just put a little bit more food out. Right, let's put a few more of the bigger freebies out over the top of the rod. Hopefully that'll last a bit longer. A few more out of this one. Right, you see if that does the business. Cool. Wow, I finally had the bite. Jeez. God, it's absolutely powered round there. Oh, what has that gone into? There's literally no snags there. What is going on here? Oh, what? Oh, it's cut me off. Oh, what an absolute disaster. Oh, man. That's literally cut me off. I don't know what that's gone through. That bank is not undercut, so all the cover you can see is on the surface. There's nothing underneath. So all I can imagine is something must have come down in the winter or at some point in a storm and has since fallen underneath there, and that's gone around and got snagged on something, which has cut me off, because I have never ever been cut off on this lake and I've never had an issue fishing in this swim. But that has quite literally just cut me through. I can see it's all grated. So it's clearly gone through some sort of snag or some structure that's clearly hidden out there and I didn't know was there. So what an absolute disaster. Well, we're back at the van then. I've just put the kit in there and it's time to hit the road. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a downer at the end, obviously losing that fish, and that's not what I was intending. I was hoping to obviously put one in the net and finish on a high, but it is a little bit of a good metaphor in a way for this video, in that things don't always go to plan and happens. And that is exactly how this week's been. You know, stuff happens and things go bad, and we just have to deal with it. And you know what? Fishing is always there. It is the main consistent thing that I have in my life, and it's always ready. It's always waiting for me, where I can go out, I can chill, I can just make it what I want to make it. You know, I can go full on, go all out, trying to catch as much as possible, or trying to hunt that big one, or I can just flick some rods out and just chill and just take it easy. And that is what's so great about fishing. It is whatever you want it to be, and it is one of those consistent things in my life, and I'm sure it's the same for you guys, that it's always there and it's always somewhere you can go and have a bit of time for yourself. So just keep that in mind. You know, when things are going wrong, you can always go out and go fishing. So that's what I'm thinking anyway. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Unfortunately we lost one. Thankfully it's a barbless hook venue, so that fish will probably be rid of that rig already and doing its own thing and probably snaffling all the rest of the baits out there. But yeah, if you're getting out, enjoy your fishing. Smash the subscribe button up here if you are new. Watch this video down here if you want to watch some more carpy content. Until next Tuesday at 6:30 on the evening, I'll be seeing you for another video. Until then, get out, be lucky, and remember, it's just fishing. Enjoy it.